AD. We're back. Cowboys and Coffee podcast is ready to rock and roll here. We are moving back from Oxnard, California to the Cowboys training camp in Frisco. The Cowboys are. And we've got through the first half of the training sessions, and now we're moving back. What have you seen so far that you like or you don't like? Where are we now camp-wise, Cowboys-wise, getting ready for the season?
Well, what I like is the Oregon wide receiver.
Yeah, I just put out something on Designated Report.
I like him. He's a playmaker.
Yes.
I'm going to put it on him already.
Trayshawn Holden, 6'2", right? His wide receivers coach is now, Junior Adams is now the Cowboys wide receivers coach. He can make plays. The question I have with him is, can he play special teams? So, right, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens are making the team. Jalen Tolbert obviously making the team. Kavontae Turpin making the team. So that's 4 players, including your punt returner. But punt returner, wide receiver. Are you carrying 5 receivers or 6?
6.
All right. So here's the rest of the guys. Jonathan Mingo, who I think has had a solid camp so far.
He's doing very well. Yeah.
So that's 5. I think he's set.
Yeah.
Now what do we do for 6? Ryan Flournoy, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Cropper, Josh Kelly. Now Brooks and Cropper, those guys play special teams. They're gunners.
Yeah.
I think specifically Brooks, that keeps a spot for you. Can Trayshawn Holden do that? I think he has talent as a wide receiver. I think at the very least he'll be a practice squad guy. I don't want anyone else to snatch him, though. I would love for him to make the roster. There's a couple more games left to see what he's got.
They didn't bump up the roster at all?
Nothing at the moment. Flournoy is still listed as the sixth receiver after Lamb, Pickens, Tolbert, Turpin, Mingo,
where that is, son.
Right here. Probably.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it.
So that's where we're at. And I'm very interested. Cowboys tight end situation. Ferguson, Schoonmaker, Brevin Spanford, John Stevens Jr. If Stevens Jr. is healthy, he's a very good asset to have. That's the big thing with him. If he's healthy, he hasn't been tremendously healthy.
We've went through a problem like this some years ago in a time past called Todd Christensen. Who did very well. And he went on to do television, a goofy guy.
So Cowboys, how many quarterbacks are they keeping? Keeping 2 or 3. You keep Will Grier. I think Will Grier's a guy you can stash in the practice squad and call him up if needed. Or I think you can have that. Well, the new rule is if you have a third QB, you can keep him as an emergency quarterback who doesn't count against your 53-man, your active day roster, whatever it is. It's just stupid. It's useless. So, I think they're only going to keep Dak and Joe Milton as on their active 53-man roster. Hunter Luepke they love.
Yeah,
he's versatile. They move him around. I think the Cowboys have got some good play from Nate Thomas is improving. I don't want Nate Thomas playing big-time games or a lot. TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman have played well. Asim Richards has played well, as well as they can. Akeem Adeniji has actually played well. Ajari Cornelius, another guy.
Mm-hmm.
They actually said Rob Jones was having a great camp before he had a break in his neck. He broke his neck.
Right.
So he's gone. Lau Collins, I feel like, is a camp body, and they might stick him on a practice squad.
It's interesting when they bring these guys in.
They seem to like him personally.
I guess we're not familiar. You have to bring in 7 or 8 linemen.
Right, and especially because a lot of guys are hurt, right?
Yeah.
Guyton was hurt. Smith was banged up.
Yeah.
C. Charles was hurt. Obviously, Rob Jones was hurt.
Yeah.
You go with someone who I'll give credit to Lau Collins for this. He's at least in shape, right? He's at least Cowboys going 3-14. John Pinto, get this guy out of here. 3-14. Boy, we gotta those. Listen,
we're gonna have to put a hit on it. Okay, that's
listen.
Right,
the Cowboys.
We're gonna get out and put it. We live down here in Norwalk. We put a hit on them.
And I was thinking about this the other day. The Cardinals had some of the biggest runs. One of the most had, I think, a top 5 offense last year as far as big runs. And now you've taken Clayton Adams and brought him over for that offensive scheme. And if you can combine the Cowboys, if you can mature the Cowboys offensive line talent, you obviously have Tyler Smith, who is a phenomenal guard, maybe the best guard in football. Cooper Beebe is very good. If Tyler Booker plays well, which, again, you think they could. Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele have to play adequate, and maybe this fits their scheme best. Well, then you throw in Jaden Blue, and now we're cooking.
Well, here's dealing with what you're saying in that roster. What you want is at the end of the year that line playing well.
Right.
I want in December that the running game is going 175 yards a game without Dak running. Okay, that's
right.
155. Give me 155 time of possession with the offensive line.
So I hear that. I get that. Don't get me wrong. They're going to have to play a lot better than they did against the Rams the other day. But it takes time. It's a new system, new scheme.
There's some people
players.
in and out of there. You know what I mean? You objectively look at it and say, listen, they don't look good. Milton said, listen, I didn't start. His interview made it sound like that. He got relaxed after the first series and realized, calm down. And things happen.
As I've said before, if you want Joe Milton to throw you a 70-yard bomb, he can throw you a 70-yard bomb. If you want Joe Milton to throw you a 7-yard slant on 3rd and 6, he'll throw you a 70-yard bomb. Right? He just has – that's who he is, though.
Now,
it's the reason why he's not starting quarterback, but he does have talent.
Well, here's what I got off the interview of this, my observation. He knew what he needs to do by knowing what he didn't do well.
Correct.
So the next game, maybe he'll play like Sanders, the Browns. How about that? If he plays like Sanders, the Browns, who's all pro, and that was automatic, he's another John Unitas. You know, when Johnny came out there, and they automatically do.
Listen. The Cowboys offense you have the pet cat, Trayshawn Holden. I agree with you. On defense, I got a pet cat, and it's cornerback Zion Childress. He can play in the slot.
Yeah, I saw highlights of him. Yeah, I like his body type too. He looks like a linebacker.
Yeah, and
48.
Yes,
48?
Yes, yeah. And he is, he's 5'11", 203. Like he's big. He does look bigger than that. He's a big, strong boy. Eberflus said, "Hey, there's snaps to be had in the slot," and that's where the Cowboys, I think, really have to weather the storm early part of the year, right? Because you have Bland, and then after him, it's a lot of question marks. Kaiir Elam, who has been having a good camp, they say, is going to have to step up because Diggs is out, Siobhan Ravel Jr. is out, Kalen Carson is out. I mean, they have a lot of guys.
Carson's out.
He's been hurt for a little bit. I think he's back in the fold now, but there's a lot of guys who are hurt in the secondary.
The Eagles receivers are going to test them.
Absolutely, right? You have two. You're going to put.
You're going to let it rip down the field.
Absolutely, and I don't like what I've seen so far about them being burnt in camp and stuff like that. Obviously, the Rams were doing what they wanted, at least in the even Stetson Bennett had a wide open receiver in the preseason game. He missed it, and that's miscommunication on the back end.
Right.
So Wilson and Hooker are going to have to step up. Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. Israel Mukuamu.
Yeah.
He balls whenever he plays.
Yeah.
He's out there. He makes plays. He does stuff. I would like to keep him on the roster. Ravel and Diggs, can they get back in time for the season to save, not specifically them save the entire season, but can they get back in time to make a difference in the season? That's a huge thing. And really the huge thing is Micah Parsons going to be playing week 1?
You have to ask that question.
That's the $40 million a year question, right? $45 million.
You can go either way. Jerry's not moving.
We know the Cowboys
not moving.
have him under contract this year. They can tag him next year. They can tag him the year after that. So there's 3 years we can get them under contract. 3 years that he can stay under contract. So I still don't think they trade him. I know Myles Garrett made a trade and said, I'm never going to play here again. And then he got a big contract and said, all is well. Great.
That's
great. No problem. The defense rises and falls on how well, as long he has to be obviously playing and a double-digit sack guy. He can't you can't miss. I mean, we've been missing
Well,
games.
he's all pro.
That's
He's
the
not-
thing.
Yeah. There's sack guys that get 10, but there's all pros.
And no disrespect to guards, but an all-pro right guard has a much different impact in the game than an all-pro edge rusher.
Yeah.
All-pro, quarterback, and then edge rusher's the next most
Edge
important
rusher can
position.
ruin your game.
Right.
Yeah.
You got these
Ruin your
guys.
quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's great against the run too. He does
Yes,
everything. He
right.
can do everything. So Micah, his contract situation. Now, we are not anti-Micah in this situation. Not at all. And I think
But
Jerry has made himself look like a fool with how he's answered and gone out of his way to say, oh, well, we did this stuff before with Dez. And Rock Nation came out and was like, yeah, no, we didn't do that. Like Jerry and Steven have made themselves look foolish time and time and time again. But
he's on the contract. He's on the contract. You do this next year, gotcha. Go make your 15 sacks, make all pro, and come knocking on the door and say, Jerry, listen, I want this. But let me give you my little talking about Jerry. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing that we talk about Jerry. It's not a good thing. This Dallas Cowboy team is Dallas Cowboy football. It's not Jerry Jones in his personal life. And that's what happens here. We get caught up in his personal life. He's made this like a personal thing about him and what he has and it's taken away. Listen, Mr. Washington made a comment this week. The actor?
Denzel, yeah.
Denzel. Enough. It's not a good thing.
And I just want to congratulate Jerry and Steven. They won their Super Bowl today. The NFL valuations for how valuable the franchises are came out, and the Cowboys were first again at the top. So yay, Jerry, you won the Super Bowl that you actually care about, whether or not the Cowboys are valuable. Can you imagine how valuable the Cowboys would be if they were winning?
Listen,
They're winning Super Bowls.
And my second point on the Jerry, it's not a good time. It's not a good time to put yourself out there over Parsons and make those comments.
And you're all of it
Not
to
the
get
time for it.
would you put it past him that he was doing this to drum up support and attention for his Netflix special on Jerry Jones the Gambler? When was the last time Jerry Jones made a huge gamble? Right? They traded for Mo Claiborne, which everyone actually thought was kind of a reasonable trade.
We did it.
Right, was
Draft
it
said he's going to be next week.
Joey Galloway, right?
Yeah.
We're talking 1999.
Right.
That was the last time that the Cowboys or Roy Williams. Okay, sure. We're talking 17, 18 years ago.
Yeah, he's changed. His philosophy's changed.
Yeah, which is
And
fine.
He is the Dr. Frankenstein he's his own Dr. Frankenstein.
I said he's his own Green Goblin mask. It calls out to him.
No, we're not in a good place right now. We're not.
I don't think roster construction is as good as it should be. I don't think their contracts are as good as they should be. I don't feel like you've given a first-year head coach the ability to create the culture that you should, because even CD is like all this stuff just to pay him. Like, they all know the gig. They all know what's going on. Even if you're not going to pay him. Right? I'll give it to the Bengals. They're cheap as could be. But they're not out there like slandering everybody who they're not going to pay.
I remember Boomer saying that they had to pay for their own tape.
Their own tape. Yep. Nothing for their family.
Yeah.
Everything's cheapskates,
Yeah,
right?
the Browns.
Yeah. The Bengals, the Brown family. Right,
Mhm.
right. Yeah. Yeah, that's pathetic, man.
I'm sorry. We know somebody who's been right on with this. It's just all about him. It's not about the professional football team. Fans rooting for the team to win. It's not rooting against Jerry Jones. And listen, I've been a Cowboy fan since Bart Starr took it over from the 1 yard line. And I don't have the same thing anymore. Jerry's taken away. It's just he's taking the fire away. You know what it is? It's like the propane tank losing.
Now, it really has deflated Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
And this idea that Cowboys fans are always like, this is our year, this is our year. I don't think for a long time the Cowboys were like, they were definitely winning the Super Bowl. This is our year. We don't think that about this year at all.
I put that out there just to draw up some things. It's too many question marks.
Right.
And I said 2 out of 3 Super Bowls and play it up a little bit. But Jerry's too his tone is too much on that team, and it crushes their development to go ahead and just play.
I think what's actually unified the players is being against Jerry, right? Against the organization, right? You have Wanye Thomas putting out stuff pro Michael Parsons, C.D. Lamb. You have a lot of guys
They did
who are
for him,
on his side. And you do this to year after. You did it with Dak. You did it with CD. You do it with Micah.
Yeah.
Like, these are the guys you're bothering.
Yeah.
Right? These are the guys you're causing an issue for. Pay Micah his money. Keep it pushing. That's it. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. The guy who is tied Reggie White for the most seasons, 4 seasons in a row with 12-plus sacks to start his career. Only Michael Parsons and Reggie White have done that. That's the guy you're going to nitpick? That's the guy? Right? Not Terrence Steele.
right.
Which they mentioned, right? But you paid him pretty quick.
Yep.
And here's my thing. Paying players quick is actually much better financially because if you need to get out from their contracts, it's cheaper because you paid them earlier. If you pay them later, they make more money. And that's the whole thing. They should have paid Micah last year. Should have paid CD the year before that and Dak the year before that.
That's the way to do it. But this shows you what it's all about. It's all about Jerry. That comes back to him.
And that is the come down here as to why the Cowboys have not won in 30 years. Since Jimmy Johnson left. And I say, well, what did Jimmy Johnson do? He went to the Dolphins. He brought them to the playoffs. They haven't been to the playoffs since he left, if I recall. Or maybe they were there a couple of years early 2000s. They've still missed it. So 24 years?
No, the Dolphins won it last year, not the year before.
Oh, they haven't won a playoff game, excuse me,
right.
in like 24 years.
Right.
They haven't won a playoff game. They've been in the playoffs. They haven't won anything. You know.
And Johnson, I believe he drafted how many Hall of Famers?
Yeah. So
on that team, Taylor and the linebacker, that's 2. There was one more somewhere.
And what has Jerry done since? And, you wanted to look at the same thing with like Brady and Belichick, right? What did Belichick do after Brady left? Oh, they went with Cam Newton. He was garbage. He went with Mac Jones. He washed out. He's gone, baby. He's with his little whatever side piece, dime piece in Carolina, and he's out of the NFL. Brady goes to the Bucs, wins the Super Bowl, and then brought him back to the playoffs the following year.
Yeah.
And my proof is in the pudding, right? I don't think one wins without the other, obviously, those years. But if you're going to talk about who gets the leg up when we're talking about legacy, it's Brady.
Right.
And does Jerry get a leg up on Jimmy? I don't think so. I think Jimmy gets the leg up.
Yes.
I mentioned the other day, I had a video out. It's the biggest what ifs in Cowboys history. One of them is Jimmy staying with the Cowboys. Did they win 3 in a row? Can they win 4 in a row? They're one NFC championship, and they would beat the snot out of the Chargers too, right?
Of course they would.
They would beat the snot out of them. So they're one championship game away with Jimmy as head coach.
It hurt the draft. That's what happened. They went through a draft that mommy could have picked the players. Remember some of those players, those corners, Goodrich,
Lattimore,
all those. It was a disaster life with some of those guys. Yeah, it was
they're literally throwing darts at a board.
Yeah,
literally just.
Yeah, it was, and that's what.
Their board's over here. By the way.
Yeah.
So just foolishness and silliness, and I guess my question is, what do you want to see from them this last stretch? Because football starts in about a month. Cowboys have the opening night, right? Thursday night game against the Eagles. What do you need to see the rest of the preseason for the Cowboys and make you feel confident about them going into game 1?
Well, they got to go in there and flush the injury bug out.
Sure.
They got to exterminate the injury bug out of the place. The Eagles have an advantage because they're a veteran ball club. We got serious veteran offensive line. Their defense, they got some decent players on it. They're ahead of us are developing. We have to see within the next 3 games who's starting. Who's starting at the offensive line and how they look.
Yeah, I think I need to
Parsons.
See. Right, you got to get Parsons taken care of. They got to give me something more along the D tackle spot. That one technique is such a glaring hole there. Mozzie was very clear the other day. He goes, I'm not playing well. I have a lot of work to do. And that's great that he knows it and he's trying to be accountable. Jay Toya didn't play well. Perrion Winfrey, not terrible. They have to get something out of that position because getting nothing, Saquon will run all over them. You know, Eberflus has the linebackers to run his scheme. If you have Parsons, Nealon, Fowler Jr., right, you've got Sam Williams, you've got guys who can come in, even Razawaku, James Houston, right? You've got some guys, some pieces out there who can stop the run or at least get after the quarterback and do stuff on the edge. But if you're able to push 2-3 yards, the one technique, out of that hole, well, they're able to combo block to the linebacker and they're able to be in that second and third level before you're able to do anything. And that Saquon is going to be very difficult in that. Cam Scatabo for the Giants will be real tough if they can get to that next level running downhill on your linebackers and safeties. And I don't know if the Giants have a great line. I wouldn't say it's great. It's passable at this moment if everyone's healthy, but you can't let that – you can't just give that away.
Listen, the definition of what a great quarterback is. Dak is not great. He's very good. Okay? He's had 2 or 3 great seasons, but he has the injury. So, you know what I'm saying? A year away from really a runner-up or the MVP. If you have to depend on him throwing the ball, he does not play well.
I agree.
And that's the truth. Other quarterbacks can throw the football and get it done. If he has to throw a game of throwing the ball when there's no running game, he gets out of whack.
Right. So we know he's not in that upper tier of Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's not in there. I think he's in that 8 to 12 range, right? Maybe 6 to 12. I don't know if he's as high as 6, but you know, he's not a quarterback. I don't think he's a quarterback that you can't win with.
Correct.
Right. Oh my gosh, I can't win with him. I think you can. I think you have to run. I mean, Trent Dilfer won. Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, they won.
Brad Johnson. I know Johnson and Trent Dilfer are difficult because they had 2 of the greatest defenses ever, literally the 2 greatest defenses in modern football. But Flacco, they were able to run the football. They were able to pass deep. Can the Cowboys run the football, throw the ball deep to Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and do what they can do?
Well, that's the offensive line. We go back to comparing teams. Aikman played in with his leadership skills within that system, North Turner, but they ran the football.
This coaching staff says they're going to do a lot of motion. The way they've set up their coaching staff is to pull and to move and to get stuff out. Will they be able to have the success that the offensive coordinator in this running game, the offensive line coach from K-State, can they have the success that they had from
get Dak killed?
Right. Can they have the success running the ball that the Cardinals have had the last couple of years, and James Conner has had success there? Right? Can you get that out of these Cowboys, or is Dak running for his life? And Dak's in those situations, Dak is injury prone. He is, right?
That's the knock on it, and that's why he's not great, because there's every other year that he's gone. The thing from the tearing from the hamstring is still bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a common injury. It was last time you saw that.
Yeah, right.
And a quarterback at that, right?
Yeah, that's
and really, when Dak is mobile, is actually very successful when he's moving outside the pocket, when he runs the football. And we've seen he's a great leader, diving for touchdowns, all sorts of things. He's exceptional in that role. Can he be healthy and do that? I don't know. They seem to say, and what I've seen reports is that they want him moving, boots and stuff like that. That should be his strength. This offense should play to his strengths. Pre-snap motion, force the defense to commit. Even an empty backfield. I know you say, empty backfield. The defense has to show you very quickly what they're doing in empty backfield, right? Because they either man up and pick up every guy, or they're not. You're like, okay, zone, boom, done. You see what they're going to. It gives the quarterback some options. Is that what this offense is going to be? Or am I going to be upset that it's the same old, like, run, pass? Run, pass. Because I can't have.
Right. Yeah, that's
McCarthy talked this up last year. Oh, we're gonna pass the ball. We're gonna do this or do that, and it became run, pass, run, pass. Very predictable offense. No pre-snap motion after very early in the season, and it just became so stressful to watch because if I know I can tell what they're doing, professionals can tell. Right?
Yeah.
These guys who that's all they've been bred for this. They live for this. They die for this. They eat, sleep, drink football. That's their job. That's their career. Their livelihoods are on the line. I don't want to move my kids to a different school system. I don't want to have to go travel across the country. I can do my job to earn my spot here. Well, if I can tell the Cowboys are going to run, they're going to run again.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to pass the football. So can they.
And that brought up his play calling.
Shoddy, there's a lot on his shoulders as play caller this year. And Clayton Adams and him working together as offense coordinator, head coach to get it. Eberflus has his work cut out for him as well as a D coordinator. Again, I think he has the linebackers to make it work. I think he needs healthy guys in the secondary.
How much leeway do we know Dak's going to change the play?
Well, I think
they all do.
Dak should have the leeway to change the play. I mean, I would hope you would allow your starting quarterback to change the play at the line of scrimmage. This isn't Landry's offense from the 70s. You have to allow your guys to see what's there. And again, like I said, that's one of Dak's strengths, reading the defense pre-snap and making the call that's necessary. If he's not your guy for quarterback. It's time to move on. That's the reality. That's my opinion. If he is not the guy,
$60 million. Is he get $60 million a year? Ridiculous. Sorry.
Even that's poor cap management.
Of course.
And Dan Orlovsky put something out the other day. Oh, Cowboys are paying Dak $60 million. The Eagles are paying, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, like $25 million. So yeah, and in 4 years, the Cowboys are paying Dak $2 million, and the Eagles are paying them $120 million.
It's going to come. Yeah,
right.
It comes.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, you mortgage the future because you're in your window and you maximize your window and do what you can do. And they've proven they can draft well. Okay, that you can do. I get it. Cowboys don't have that level of roster construction where they can do that, but they have some work to do in the meantime. But you would like to give yourself more breathing room. How do you do that? You sign your stars early, baby. That's it. So I know it's kind of going back into it. Anything else that's on your mind to talk about right now as we go back to Frisco for the rest of camp?
The health of the team.
Yeah.
It's out of your control, but they got to get that first scrimmage, that first quarter, look better up front. You have to. You got to improve. I want to see Milton. I like what he said. See him calm down. I like his attitude. I think he'll do better, and that's what you want to see out of this, because our backup before came and won games. He wasn't pretty.
Cooper Rush did an excellent job winning games.
Cooper Rush won games. He wasn't pretty. He couldn't throw the ball probably 40 yards.
People were asking, should they start Cooper Rush over Dak?
Yeah, they even
because he was winning football games. Yeah. Right? And of course not. And good. Listen, we like Cooper Rush a lot. I'm glad he's in Baltimore now. Yeah. Backup quarterback, right? If you can't be a star, be a backup quarterback.
Backup. Yeah.
That's it, baby. You're set for life. So good for him. Joe Milton, who they have under contract for a few years. Let me pose this question to you before we go. Dak has another year where he, let's say, misses 6 games. Hypothetical. Or he plays the whole year, Cowboys miss the playoffs. Things don't work with George Pickens. Do you start to look a little differently at Joe Milton as a potential Dak replacement after the year?
Well, he's got to play better. You got to see something out of him. To give him the starting job, that's tough.
Now, Dak 2 years ago, MVP caliber season. Second team All-Pro, second only to Lamar. And for the people complaining that Lamar should have won the MVP last year over Josh Allen, then you also need to say that Dak should have won the year before over Lamar. Like, that's the truth. If you're saying, oh, Lamar should have won the MVP, Dak should have won the year before because he had statistically a superior season. if Dak struggles, if Dak is hurt again, how do you continue to build into his mid to late 30s?
Well, this is
he's the 7th or 8th
when he's
oldest
healthy,
quarterback in the NFL.
he's fine. The thing you have to consider, he gets hurt every other year. I think that's basically what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how long for $60 million you're going to? I think it's pretty much every other year.
So Dak is currently 30, just turned 32, right? Let's see Dak's games played. The last time Dak played 16 or 17 games, right? 2023. So he played 8 last year, full season the year before. 12, then 16 the year before that.
Yep.
5,
There you go.
and then 16 before that.
There you go.
So going back
That's every
to
other year.
2019, it's been every other year. 16, 5, 16, 12, 17, 8. Is he in line for a full season this year? I would like to believe it. If he's – listen, I truly believe that the Cowboys can block for him. He has the ability and the players around him with Pickens and Lamb to throw for 5,000 yards in a 17-game season. I know you'd probably hate that.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He has the ability to do that. Right? He threw for 4,900 so a few years ago.
I wonder how many quarterbacks, you have to look it up, threw for 5,000 yards and won the Super Bowl.
Let's see, QBs. He was to throw for 5,000 yards in a season.
Drew Pearson twice at the Drew
Brees.
Drew Brees.
Marino.
Never.
Drew Brees in 2008. They did not make the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
2011 was Brady and Brees, and Brady and the Patriots lost to the Giants, undefeated season.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Also, Matthew Stafford that year. So 3 guys threw for 5,000 yards in 2011. 2012, Drew Brees did it a third time. 2013, Drew Brees did it a 4th time, and Peyton Manning did that, and Peyton Manning lost to the Super Bowl to the Seahawks that year. 2016, Drew Brees did it a 5th time.
What?
Yeah. 2018, Ben Roethlisberger and Patrick Mahomes both threw for 5,000 yards. The Patriots won the Super Bowl. 2019, Jameis Winston. 2021, the Buccaneers. Brady throws in his last year. He throws for 5,316 yards.
What?
Isn't that nuts? And he did not win. The Rams won the Super Bowl that year. Justin Herbert also threw for 5,000 yards. And 2022, Patrick Mahomes is the only one to do it to win the Super Bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times and won Super Bowl champion. So, and it was Patrick Mahomes, right, who did it. So, a couple of close ones. Brady in 2021 threw for 5,000 yards.
Sickening.
It's nuts. So yeah, you have to run the football. And I found we have said this before. The Chiefs win the Super Bowls when they run the ball well.
They run the ball.
They beat the 49ers, the first one, because they ran the ball.
Yeah. And 150 yards rushing.
Isaiah Pacheco runs the football well, right?
Yeah.
When they're healthy there. So
who was the guy the first time, though?
yeah, it was, oh gosh.
Edwards, Allen, Williams, one of those guys. Williams. I think it's Williams.
Okay, Super Bowl.
I don't think he's in the league now, or he went somewhere else.
Okay, so the Chiefs beat the 49ers. Now I have to see. I almost have it. Damian Williams.
Williams, yeah.
Damian Williams, who was with the Cardinals in 2023.
Yeah.
Practice squad. After the Chiefs in 2020, he goes to the Bears for a year, the Falcons for a year.
Right.
Raiders in the offseason, and the Cardinals, and that's it.
That's it.
But 2014, he started 2014 through 2022, 2023, a Super Bowl championship.
Got a ring.
Not bad, baby. Not bad. So, yeah, you got to run the football. Shadi has said they want to run the football. They want to pound these teams into submission. So, get to work, fellas. Get to work.
December.
That's what's going to matter. Anything else you got, D, for this episode?
I think that's about it.
Congratulations again. The Cowboys win the Super Bowl for the most valuable franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only Super Bowl Jerry seems to care about these days.
It's
actually in true form. Congratulations to Jerry Jones, who just announced he beat stage 4 cancer. They've been fighting melanoma for 10 years, stage 4 melanoma.
Yeah.
He got on a test drug, really, that they tried on him to save him, and it saved him. He's cleared of cancer. So congratulations. Good news, Jerry. Yeah. I know we joke about and we rip Jerry a lot, but it's good to see, he's fully cleared. Good for him.
What did he say to me?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Listen, great. Awesome, Jerry. Maybe a new lease on life and do things a little differently. That'd be great.
Yeah. Also, you tapped me on my shoulder.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Anybody you're dedicating this episode to?
Yeah, I have. I'm going to dedicate this to your mother. I don't think if we ever did a show dedicated to Mommy. 40 years of marriage. 40 years.
40 years.
40 years. 40 years.
That's a.
Yeah, so it has to be dedicated to my 40 years.
I'm going to do this one out to Deuce James. And let me tell you why.
Yeah, Deuce James.
Deuce James, my man. Designated Report has had 6 years of fantasy football. There is there's a raffle coming in, not a raffle. What's the ping pong? A lottery to get in. Out of 6 years, I have made 5 championships.
5 championships.
I have won 3, including the last 2 and the first one. Okay?
Yeah.
Deuce James came in last place this year.
No.
And as his punishment, had to buy me a trophy, baby. So this goes out to you, Deuce, because thank you so much. Thank you, my son, for this because
Deuce.
And Deuce, we've been friends. Deuce and I have been friends since childhood.
Yeah,
him and you've known his dad and how long? Yeah,
I know his dad.
Quick, and we pray those guys are doing well.
Yes.
Deuce is doing a great job.
Went through a tough time last couple of years.
Yeah. Deuce is doing well as a chef and cook. And down south, he's doing great. He's doing awesome stuff. And Deuce, thank you for my trophy because you know what? I deserve it. All right, listen, D, I love you. And we've been sipping. You had espresso before you got here.
Yes, I did.
I had coffee. We're shooting this at like 7 o'clock at night, so I'm about to be cooked. It's going to be 1 in the morning, and I'm going to be like,
"Yep, that's why I took the little shot." Yep.
It's over, baby. Pray for me. D, I love you. Cowboys and Coffee. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us here at YouTube.
And I'm going to go on Instagram, too. I'm heading out there.
We're on Instagram. Yep. You can find our content on Instagram, Cowboys and Coffee podcast, right? I can show you here. This is stuff we have. We're constantly putting out content on there. You can find us. Literally, we've got stuff all the way, man. We got stuff going on here on our website. Cowboys and Coffee podcast is our IG handle. Come find us. We're always talking Cowboys. We're trying to put out stuff all the time. And so like, share, subscribe, tell your Cowboys friends about us. We're going, baby. All right?
All right.
Love you, D. Catch you guys later. Peace.
I think it was a good show.
Yeah.